everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.
And it's time once again
to recommend things.
Hey Vince, what do you recommend today?
Today, I'm recommending coasters.
Oh,
Get them.
yeah, you
Protect
should
your
get those.
furniture.
Actually, these are cool. You know what these are? These are like little
Granite
granite
samples?
slabs. Yeah, they're just granite samples that my wife picked up at one point. She had like a whole box of these granite samples that somebody gave her for some reason, and we just put thingies on the bottom. What are those? I don't know what those are made of.
I don't know.
Felt.
Discs?
The felty. Whatever coasters have. Anyway, that's what those are. So that's a craft project you could do. Tell your friends. Anyway.
Today, we're recommending coasters and Atomic Robo. Atomic Robo. Okay, so this is Atomic Robo Volume 1, so this is the first ever Atomic Robo stuff that was collected in the first 6 issues, anyway. So I picked this up, 1, because I found it for $5, and 2, because I really enjoyed the Free Comic Book Day Atomic Robo stuff that they either put out this past year or the year before, I forget.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But it was in a Red 5 sampler, so they had Atomic Robo, Huda Ha, and yada yada. And I didn't much care about the Huda Ha and yada yada, but that Atomic Robo was really funny. So when I saw this, I had to pick it up. Now, to fully prepare you for what this is, really, I'm just recommending looking into Atomic Robo, whatever you find. But this is pretty funny stuff, this number 1 here. And when I found this, okay, it's not a real, solid story from beginning to end. It's more of a collection of skits, things that are loosely connected to each other. So these are kind of snapshots in the life of Atomic Robo. So you get to know who this character is. And a lot of this stuff takes place at varying different periods of Atomic Robo's life. So you jump back and forth. And he's a robot. It's really interesting, it's really funny, and a lot of this stuff is anachronistic, so there's a very modern dialect, even going back further in the life of Atomic Robo. So essentially, if you want to know what it is, or what Atomic Robo is, he was created by Tesla, and he is indestructible, and he is quirky and witty. And that's really all you need to know. And he hires himself out and does missions for people, just for the heck of it, and he kind of becomes a celebrity. So that's what this is largely, that's the backstory for these quirky little adventures. And I highly recommend it because it's funny and it's good witty stuff. And I'm not going to say that it's entirely inappropriate for children, but I would say that, your kid should probably know what a couple of naughty words are. Not necessarily profanity, but things that you wouldn't say to, your grandma.
So it's geared toward 8-year-olds, but
there's stuff in there. I mean, it's clever that, kids will like it. They'll think it's funny. So I'm not going to say it's not appropriate for certain younger ages, but it's not an all ages book in general.
Which is interesting because when you mentioned that you were going to recommend that earlier, I immediately went, oh cool, Atomic Robot, that's a really good all ages book. And then I flipped through part of this and I went, wait a minute, this stuff isn't. But the couple issues that I had read of it seemed totally okay for and would you say that there were a couple stories in this that you would never know that it's not really book?
Looking back on it, I guess there are some of the language they use and say, well, that's not necessarily appropriate for a kid. I'm like, oh look, corpses, and so it's kind of like a steampunk version of Hellboy. Only
that's cool.
Only really focusing on the comedy aspect as opposed to the dark stuff. So it's silly, it's goofy, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's fun. It's really fun stuff. So that's all I really have to recommend at the moment.
Atomic Robo looks just like the Iron Giant, except he's not giant.
Yeah, he's more like man-sized.
Today I'm going to recommend, it's so weird that that we were talking about this and then I was like craft project, because today I'm doing something I've never done before, which is recommending a craft book. Today I'm recommending the Star Trek craft book. I bought this at a convention last year. I'm trying to remember what con I got this at. It was at Conquest, and I met the lady who wrote this. Her name is Angie Peterson, and she and I bought this from her and she signed it and I thought she was neat, so I bought her book from her. and I don't know if I'm ever going to do any of these crafts because I'm not a craft person. I don't do crafts, not my thing. But I bought this because I thought she was cool, and I thought some of the stuff in it was neat. So I bought it to support her, but also because I thought my wife might want to do some of the stuff in this.
At the next meeting of Trek Club, you should set that book out and say, somebody pick some of these things because we're going to have a ball next time.
We've actually already shown it off and talked about it. And what's funny is there are a couple things in here that some of our Trek people have done before this book even came out that is really similar to stuff that's in this. But yeah, there's lots of fun stuff in this. It teaches you how to make tribbles, and it teaches you how to make coasters, Star Trek coasters, and doilies, and then probably the coolest thing is the Spock puppet. It's a sock monkey. They call it a Spock monkey. It's a sock monkey that's Spock, and that's pretty cool. They show you how to make shoes with Star Trek prints on them, and I think there's a tricorder purse. And there's all kinds of fun stuff. There's a costume for your dog.
Oh, adorable.
And it's also just a well put together book. I guess part of the other reason I bought this is just because I have a Star Trek reference library, and this fits in that. So those of you that have that think you have a definitive Star Trek reference library and you don't have this, then you don't yet, because that counts. So anyway, I also thought I would bring this up just in case people didn't know it existed, because it's probably not one of those things that's everywhere. I've never seen this at Barnes and Noble. That's not to say it's not there, but I've never noticed it there. So the only place I ever saw this was at the convention. It's published by Simon & Schuster, so it's one of the that's one of the main Star Trek companies as far as publishing goes. So in fact it's the premier one. So this has to be in stores, but I've just never seen it anywhere. So anyway, in case you didn't know about it, there it is. And there's
how much does that normally
25 crafts. I think it runs 20.
Oh, that's not bad.
So kind of standard for a book like this. And then there's stuff in the back that's legal to copy and print to help you make your crafts, so that it looks the way it's supposed to from in the book. But anyway, that's about all I have to say about it. It's kind of a neat book, and that's my recommend this week. Well, everybody, thanks as always for watching Recommends, and Vince and I will be back with you once again next week to recommend something else. And remember, if you have wooden things that you set drinks on, or glass things that you set drinks on, you need a coaster. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.
We'll see you later.